Christian, come on, be serious for once in your life. Pray for yourself. How about we start by praying for your son? That's what Moniece, yes, Moniece from Love and Hip Hop, said when she jumped into the comment section to drag Chrisean by her edges. She said, "I'm praying for the son you brought into this world. You chose alcohol and chaos over him. You didn't choose your child. You didn't even choose yourself. You've chosen every temptation without a single thought for the consequences. This wasn't just shade. This was a full-blown read, complete with receipts and moral clarity that had everybody leaning in like, wait a minute, is somebody finally going to say it?" And say it, she did, loud, clear, and without the usual fake sympathy people like to wrap around Chrisean when they're too scared to call her out. Because what we're not going to do is pretend like this girl hasn't been spiraling, especially when there's a child involved. We're not talking about Bluefish's bruised ego here. We're talking about a literal baby, reportedly dealing with medical complications and developmental delays, while his mother seems more invested in her Twitch streams than his pediatric visits. Woo. So when Moniece said what she said, we hit differently. Because we all know Chrisean's been real busy lately, but not with being a mother. She's been booked and busy trying to rebrand herself as a woman of God on Sundays, and a goofy streamer from Monday to Saturday. She's in her studio apartment turned prayer closet begging fans not to judge her, asking for prayers. Meanwhile, the internet has already done 2 virtual prayer chains and a full gospel revival just trying to get her to act like she's aware of her responsibilities. While everyone else has been concerned about her baby's condition, Chrisean has treated it like a joke. Like there aren't viral clips of the baby looking detached, barely reacting, not crawling, and not cooing.
You're a goof who drank your baby into
Look, here we go. It's a dumb
who drank your baby to Thank you, Mod.
That's exactly why this wake-up call from Moniece was overdue. Now, if you know anything about Moniece Slaughter, you know she's been through her own share of trauma. But baby, she has never been afraid to speak the truth, especially when it involves kids. So when she'd opened her mouth and basically said, "Enough is enough," you already knew she meant business. She didn't come to throw shade. She came with clarity and conviction. She laid it all out. That child is not getting the care he needs. Meanwhile, Chrisean's out here playing dress-up in Jesus costumes, acting sanctified, while her baby might be facing a possible neurological disorder and hasn't even been properly evaluated by a doctor. The lies, the denial, the distractions, all of it, Moniece said, is just one big smokescreen. For what? Neglect. And here's the thing. Moniece didn't scream, didn't clown, didn't do the usual TV drama routine. She just said the truth, calm, direct, and powerful. What made it cut even deeper? Moniece wasn't even coming from a place of hate. She came from a place of, "Sis, I've been there, but this ain't it." And baby, this is the part that had the internet doing a spiritual double take. Because how you in the front row at church crying like Mary Magdalene in 4K, and then hop on Twitch a few hours later saying you're still in love with Bluefish? Pick a side. Yes, Chrisean has claimed she gave her life to God. She's been sliding through church services like she's part of the praise team, crying in her fitted dress with the Holy Spirit on speed dial. She says she's a changed woman now. Don't judge me, pray for me. But then, 2 streams later, she's on Twitch saying she still loves Bluefish, would take him back at a heartbeat, and still wants to get his name tattooed on her face like it's 2022 again. Now, what part of Corinthians says, "Thou shalt return to the man who disowned thy child"? You can't be shouting, "Jesus is king" on Sunday, and then running back to your personal pharaoh the second the church organ stops playing. Not when he's dragged you, disrespected you, and refused to even claim the baby. It's like Chrisean's trying to mix Bible study with Bad Girls Club and call it healing. Sis, that's not deliverance. That's confusion in a wig and an ankle monitor. And listen, Bluefish doesn't even need to speak again. Because every time he opens his mouth, all we hear is basement trauma and broken promises. This man has turned his own child into a punchline for his crusty little Instagram rants. And don't get me started on how he publicly disowned the baby, then doubled down saying he didn't want to deal with it. All while sliding into Jaden's DMs like he ain't got grime on his soul.
All right, I'm telling you to leave. Okay. All right. What are you doing here? Look how you got your. Look how you got your baby. Baby looks nothing like me. Baby looks zero like me. Nobody gives a. You're outside of my house. What are you doing here? 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 That baby looks nothing like me. Bye. Bye.
And what did Chrisean do? Nothing. Worse than nothing. She's talking about taking him back like he's some wayward husband from a Tyler Perry movie, and not a cautionary tale in human form. But let's keep it all the way real. Blueface isn't just trifling. He's complicit. Because while Chrisean fumbled the role of motherhood, he fumbled the whole concept of fatherhood. Didn't step up. Didn't help out. Didn't even acknowledge that the baby was his, unless it was to make a joke out of him. Now, here's what really makes it all worse. The industry sees this. They see everything. And yet, crickets. Nothing but tumbleweeds blowing through the PR departments of every brand that ever paid Chrisean to show up and act cute. How are you booking this girl for interviews, walkthroughs, and studio time? But none of y'all are asking, hey, what about your child? Do you need help? Do you need support? Or better yet, are you actually going to take care of that child or not? Because while Chrisean's getting branded as the realest chick in the game, her realest responsibility is off camera, looking underdeveloped, and unwell. And let's be honest, if this was any other mother, especially a black one without fame and followers, all would have had her canceled, reported, and under investigation and all NTS ago. A messy past and a visibly struggling child. If it were anyone else, they'd be ripped to shreds. But Chrisean, she still manages to give baby me energy, like she's the victim, even as she treats her own baby more like a stage prop than a priority. Because as much as we shave her, drag her, and rightfully so, this isn't just drama. It's a generational tragedy unfolding in real time. What we're really witnessing is Chrisean battling the full weight of unhealed trauma, now magnified by fame, ego, and a platform way too big for her emotional maturity. This girl had no mentors, no roadmap, no guidance. She went from fighting on Zeus like it was a backyard brawl to suddenly being a mother, to a child reportedly born with medical concerns and receiving zero consistent care. And instead of facing that reality, she's doing what many traumatized people do best, escaping. Escaping through religion, through live streams, through blueface fantasies, and most of all, through denial. But guess what? The baby doesn't get to escape. Moniece's message hit as hard as it did because she wasn't just speaking from anger, she was speaking from experience. From that place where the cycle could have been broken if someone had just spoken up sooner. We're all watching the chaos, maybe even laughing at it sometimes. But that child? He's going to live with the consequences. And that's the part nobody really wants to say out loud. That's the real kicker. Because if Moniece hadn't spoken up, you really got asked. Would anyone have? Would the blogs have kept hyping Chrisean's fake redemption arc? Would people still be liking her videos and laughing at her antics, while her child allegedly cries off camera, looking unwell and unhurt? Let's be real. Say what you want about Moniece. She has her own complicated past. We'd all know that. But one thing she doesn't do. She doesn't sit quietly while another mother treats a human life like a branding opportunity. She said what needed to be said. She risked being labeled a hater, messy, or bitter just to speak the truth. And let's be honest, the truth hurts. And maybe that's why so many people just look the other way. Because if they admit Moniece is right, then they have to admit they're part of the problem too. So now we'll ask you, do you think Moniece was out of line for calling Chrisean out? Or did she say what the entire industry's been too scared to admit? Why do the same people who post "protect black children" suddenly go quiet when this baby needs protecting? And the biggest question of all, can someone really change their faith if they refuse to face the wreckage that caused? Or is Chrisean just running from the truth under the disguise of a choir robe and a ring light? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't miss our next video. It's messier than a family reunion with no filter.